Hey everybody, how's it going? Brbteabreak here today with another World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth video. We're here on the reworked Blood Death Knight in the Underrot. So Blood DK has had a couple of changes, not a lot. It's mainly talents, but one baseline change is that Dancing Rune Weapon now is a 2-minute cooldown, where on live it's a 3-minute cooldown. This is really nice to see changed. It means you can actually do a lot of damage. It also smooths out some of the problems with, say, Bone Shield being low entering combat. It means your opener is much better, much more often, pretty much, because you get double stacks of the Blood Plague, and then lots and lots of Bone Shield. That's the ability name. Uh-oh, lots of bad men coming in. Here we go. I can't... Maybe if I stand here, is this enough range? Nope, not on all of them at least. Let's get these guys in. Bit of this, a bit of that. I also added up here the, I guess the spell queue window, I don't know what you're gonna call it. Shows you what I'm pressing though, which I think is much better than me, doing each ability a little too much sometimes. Anyway. So talents, yeah, talents have been reworked pretty heavily. They've nerfed a lot of the good ones, and some have even been split like into half to be multiple talents. There used to be one on Legion, and they've added some new ones also. So let's just clear this pack out first a little bit. One real nice one is at level 15 or level 58, whatever you want to call it for Blood DK, 56 even. It's Rune Strike. So Rune Strike is pretty much a generator for your runes. It costs nothing to use and generates one rune when you use it. The cooldown is 1 minute though, and you have 2 charges. But for every rune you spend, you reduce the cooldown by 1 second. So this is really good for extended fights where you need to have max runes per second. Really nice. On the same line as Blood Drinker though, which is still a massive heal. Still a massive heal and a massive amount of damage. We'll show off the Rune Strike here. Let's add it to the bar. Just kidding, it's on cooldown. We'll do it, we'll wait a second here. But you'll see that it's just lots of damage, and a rune instantly back is really nice, especially when you sometimes say like, you know, 1 rune or something and you need that extra rune instantly. Here we go. 2 charges. Let's go. So we got there. We spent all our runes, as you can see. Press the Rune Strike, get 1 rune back instantly. Cost a GCD, sure, but it's still a lot of damage. A bit weaker than a Death Strike, but better than anything else you have. I think, yeah, better than Morrowind. And it's not too bad. This guy is melting. He summons this little clone here, but the clone doesn't matter what you do with it. So I'm not too sure what this is, because before I used to split up like Medivh, where it'd be 3 of them and you kill all of them. Where now you just focus the boss and you win, which is a little awkward. I'm not too sure what's going on there. But yeah, that is the first talent, level 56 right there. Really cool. Consumption is obviously impact ability on live. That's now a talent, exactly the same though. And hemostasis is the same as the legendary shoulders, except on live that is 20% per stack, I believe it is. Where now it's only 8%, which is real monkeress. Still the exact same though, which is a little awkward there. I'm not too sure exactly. It feels really weak in my opinion. But it still does the effect. Still really good when you need it. But just not as good. It's on the same line as Rapid Decomposition, which has changed also. So Rapid Decomposition now gives you the same damage on Death and Decay, but also now on Blood Plague. Which is really good because Blood Plague heals you and does a lot of AoE damage. But you don't get the 1 runic power per second anymore, which is kind of sucks. It means now when you get a Scourge proc, your Crimson Scourge, which is just a passive ability here. Passive. Used to give you runic power, which is good for just, you know, tanking single target bosses. Where now you're getting more healing because of more Blood Plague damage, sure, but the procs mean less single target now. It just means more damage, where on live it's more damage and more runic power, which is a lot better. Foul Bulwark got nerfed. On live it's 2%, now it's 1%. That's pretty massive. because it was such a picked talent. It was always picked pretty much. And let's say on average you have 7 stacks, that's 14% max life increase. Where now that's gone. So, pretty massive nonetheless. I think that's all for that line though, yeah. A cool one here is that anti-magic barrier has been reworked. So where are you guys going? There's still a boss over here we gotta fight, you know. Anti-magic barrier on live gives you 25% more HP when you use anti-magic shell. Where now it makes it so you you gain a lower cooldown and the shield is larger. So it actually buffs your shield, which is what you want to have buffed. So yeah, it's interesting there. Very, very cool. I like it a lot more than what we currently have. Look at that AMS there. Run over these little bloodlets, little worms, whatever they're called. You can see here, we're like capped out on runes already. I don't really know, like, it's more so maybe on a raid fight where you're constantly hitting the monster. That's when maybe you'll notice the runes running out. But look, I have 2 things, a Blood Boil, I have a Scourge proc here. Like, I'm never going to be able to press Rune Strike at this rate. Like, maybe now? I might press one now, there we go. Like, but really, like, it's not that bad. A lot of complaints, but let's use a cooldown in the last second, why not? Give me some loot. Is that a weapon? Is that an upgrade? 186, 1 item level. We will, oh, wait, yeah, we'll take it. It is an upgrade, nonetheless. The greens, man, that's the life we're living right now. The green upgrades. God. Dude, now it's not a bad option here either. I had 0 bone shield going into that though, which meant I had to spend a lot to get my bone shield back. But if you're just spamming blood strikes, and really if you're tanking a boss, you'll obviously have an off tank there, like in a raid. So you normally enter the fight or taunting with 10 stacks anyway. Like, it doesn't feel that bad. I don't really understand why everyone's complaining so much. I think people also complaining about the viability. That is different. I don't really know if it's viable. Like, your HP isn't that much higher right now than warriors and other tanks in the game that have good mitigation. Which is a concern, obviously. Your healing is much lower also, without your artifact traits. You just don't have healing, like, for example, you don't have healing anymore on your Heart Strike, which is like one of your most pressed buttons, and also Death Strike heals a lot less, it feels like, because you're getting less runic power. So less runic power means less Death Strikes. Also, for your artifact weapon, you get that trait, which makes it so you get 5% more healing per trait, which is normally 7 out of 7 everybody has, so it's so good. So 35% extra healing. So, yeah, it's hard to compare artifacts to what we currently have, because artifacts are so overpowered. And they're kind of designed that way, I don't know. Oh, they still cast it, even though I interrupted there with the movement. Oops, someone aggroed the boss. Okay, that's fine, dude. Let's go. So this boss here is very interesting. So he summons these mushrooms around the room. And he actually kills them when he runs over them. See here, the shockwave ability, it'll kill them. But we can run over them naturally also. Really good here with the DK, as you can see. AMS. Took 0 stacks there. If we don't kill these, the problem is that he explodes them later on. And the whole group takes damage, which is not good. Raid-wide damage is never nice. So actually we'll leave that one up there to show you. Festering Harvest. And you can see that on the entire party would not be nice. It goes increased stacks per mushroom up. So we only had 1 mushroom up there, so it wasn't that many. Waste, okay, we'll take that too. Why not? 210. I think that's all for changes on the spec. Oh yeah, Tightening Grasp got changed quite a bit. So on live, this gives you cooldown reduction and a slow, where now it only gives you cooldown reduction, which is pretty massive in my opinion. It's pretty massive. Because before you used to just pick it and never changed it because it was so good, where now you actually might not pick it every fight. You might need, for example, a slow. So you'll pick the other option, which is really nice. Really nice. They also made, what's it called? Mark of Blood worse. Why does I keep aggroing everything? What's your problem? You're not the tank, dude. If you want to tank, go tank. So Mark of Blood is 2% now, where it's 3% on live, which is weird because no one's ever picked that talent ever. So weird that they nerfed it. They also moved Bloodthirst from being level, what is it, 58 to being 100, which is actually not too bad. They nerfed the value. It used to be 6 runic power, gives you 1 second back on your blood, vampiric blood, but now it's 10, which kind of sucks. But that line is all different options. So you have Purgatory there, which is your cheat death. You have Bone Storm, which is your AoE damage, mass healing, but high risk, high reward kind of thing. And then you have a constant, like, neutral version, option even, which is Bloodthirst, or Redthirst even. Really nice line. A new talent also is Voracious, I have no idea. Pretty much press Death Strike, gain 15% leech, which is not too bad. Not too bad at all. Our damage is quite low right now, and it is a pretty low amount of our healing, about 10 to 15%. But as we do more damage with things like Heart Strike, as we do more damage with auto attacks, it'll start meaning more, because Death Strike healing doesn't increase. Death Strike healing is always based on damage you take. So the Death Strike healing over the expansion doesn't increase really, where the leech will, because we're doing more damage per second, which is really, really good. It also means if you're not taking damage too much, you're taking lots of like consistent damage, it's not too bad. Also another option for when you don't have oh, I thought I was turned around for that. You have to turn around for those guys there. There's 2 of them though, so it might have made it kind of awkward. Yeah, I'll show you here. I'll just turn around. Oh, wrong ability. Anyway. That's all the talent changes. Pretty good stuff there. See, these 2 are separate now. That's about it, really. Let's go back to Blood Drinker. I don't raid Rune Strike right now. Blood Drinker is for me. It is my bae, as some of the kids would say. Let's go. This boss is really, really good. So this boss, he doesn't actually take any damage. Oops, messed up my Blood Drinker there. Press start taunt after. So this boss takes 0 damage practically. But what he does is that he drops these blood guys on the ground, and when he takes, I guess, X amount of damage. And killing those blood guys kills the boss. Yes, he takes damage. About 10% per blood. So I'll grab the guy over here. Oh, look, that guy's helping out, the little NPC. So you see here, about 10% will go down there, not too bad. So you want to cleave the boss to trigger these bloods to spawn. But you also want to kill the bloods. It's very nice little balance here. You see here, no one's actually hitting the bloods. That's why we have a lot of bloods active right now. If you get a breakdown, you see here, yeah, this guy has done 90% of his damage on the big boss guy. Which is nice to spawn some bloods, sure, but we need to also kill these bloods. You just can't hit them all day. We also gain this stacking debuff. I'm not sure what triggers it, but the boss, or our friend, he every so often will do an AoE shield for us. I probably should B-res him. Oh, he's up now. Cool. But that will cleanse the debuff off us. But I'm not sure what triggers it. For example, he's doing damage now. I'm not sure what triggers that either. Maybe there's something at the start of the fight we do. Not too sure there. No more loot. Mine on the money. A tiny heart. What's this? Okay. Sure. Why not? Cool. New traits. Level 2. They all suck. Oh, look at all these guys. They're off their pro gear. Where's my my Azeroth pieces? Man, feels bad. Let's break down the healing overall. Let's look at healing throughout the whole dungeon. Overall, healing. You see here, Death Strike still does a lot, but Blood Plague does a lot also. Unholy Strength is my Runeforge weapon enchant. Leech is from that talent, and AMS obviously is just the amount you're shielding is why it's up there. The healing on this is still really high. I didn't press it that much, I guess. I was using a lot of Rune Strike for the dungeon, but that's really high. 3 cast, every cast I'm healing about 7,000. That's pretty good in my opinion. About 10% of your life every every 30 seconds is not bad for one rune. Death Strike's still the highest though, but look at that, 72 casts is a lot. It's still the same though, as you can see here. Oh, I don't want to queue up. It's still the same here, where it's just based on damage you've taken. The max, or the minimum, sorry, has changed though. It used to be 5% minimum, when now it's 10%. Which is okay, it doesn't really change too much of the gameplay. It means if you're matching it at practically full life, it's a lot better. So if you're taking very little amount of damage, or let's say you take a big spike and you Death Strike late, it means you still get 10% healing either way. Where on live you only get 5% if you mistime it, which is pretty massive. But Blood DK is still like a good healing compared to the healer. Obviously it's not like live where you're doing more healing than the healer, but it's still pretty high. But you see here, look at everybody. Everybody in the game now has so much passive healing. Like, actually, look at that Champion of Azeroth for this guy. That's actually one of the traits on the chest piece here at the start. Interesting, a lot of healing there. But yeah, that is the Blood DK, guys. I think it's pretty solid. I quite enjoy it still. It's the same, which is kind of a pull on my guess. I'd like to see something change, maybe. But it doesn't. It does work, so, you know, if it works, don't change anything. Nothing's broken, don't fix it. What do people say? I can't remember what the line is. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Is that it? I can't remember. But yeah, still a really, really fun spec. It'll probably be my second character I level up, most likely. I really enjoy tanking. So maybe after a mage, after a warlock, maybe after a shaman. I'm not too sure what I'm playing yet, but Death Knight is definitely up there. At least for Blood DK and Unholy, which is very, very cool also. We'll do a dungeon as Unholy also later on. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.